Hey everyone, it's Jessie. A while ago, Heather from Strings and Threads reached out to me and she asked if I'd want to be a tester for KnitPal to test some crochet and knit dishcloths for some kits they're putting together to sell on their website. I agreed. I filled out an application, sent it to KnitPal, and they accepted me as a tester along with a handful of other people. KnitPal is not paying me to be a tester, but they did send me some free yarn and free patterns in exchange for me to give my honest review. Now, I did do one video so far, and that was showing you all the yarn that KnitPal sent me. So if you are interested in seeing all the details about the yarn is cotton to the core. I am going to link that video above and in the description below. They have so many beautiful colors in this yarn line, so I would definitely check out that video so you can see all the colors. I am also going to be linking their website down below in the description, so if you want to check it out, and their Amazon storefront. They only sell their yarn on Amazon. Originally, I was going to do 3 videos. However, I decided now just to do 2 videos. So the first one is showcasing all the yarn, so go ahead and check that out. This video is going to be talking about how well it worked up, showing you some of the dishcloths, and we're going to test out together how well it does with washing some dishes, and then we're going to test it out in the washer. Now, I have to say I absolutely loved working with this yarn. It's so soft, and I am very sensitive when it comes to yarn. I don't like yarn to be too rough or too prickly. It's not fun to be working with yarn that's too rough on your skin. And I found this yarn to be so soft while working it up. It felt lovely. Now, I did have times where I had to frog part of the dishcloths, but that's because of mistakes on my end. I made too many mistakes to count. However, it was a great opportunity to see how well the yarn frogged. When crocheting the yarn, I did find that it would snag when frogging like a smaller stitch, like the slip stitch or a single crochet stitch. Now that's just because the yarn does have a little bit of a halo. I don't know if you can see that. You see that halo there? So because of that, and in some places the halo was thicker than others, but that made the smaller stitches snag more. Not always, but sometimes it was pretty tough. I had a couple rows where it took a while to unsnag that. So if that's something you don't like at all, I would suggest just using bigger stitches, because when I used the double crochet stitch or treble crochet, and sometimes even the half double crochet, and I frogged it frogged so beautifully. No snags at all. When it came to frogging when I was knitting, it really wasn't so, and honestly, I don't know if it's called frogging when you're knitting. So let me know in the comments if it's called something else, because I'm still fairly new to knitting. But when I would pull the yarn, frog it, whatever you call it in knitting, when I would do that, the yarn did not snag at all. I had no issues at all. So that was wonderful. I'm going to show you some of the finished dishcloths. I know KnitPal, they're talking about making some smaller kits for sale on their website in the future. So just keep an eye out for that. However, I don't know like which patterns they're going to include in the kits, but let's just show you how well the yarn worked up. I find all the colors are gorgeous. I did block my dishcloths. Now that is something you wouldn't have to do, because I did find it was just fine without blocking. However, when you do block, it just helps those edges stay more lined up, and it opens up your stitches more. Here's one of them. So much fun to make. I just find it's gorgeous. Here's another one. Now these are some of the crocheted ones I'm showing you right now. The designs are beautiful. Look at these colors. Just the different designs and the colors are so cool. All right, so those were some of the crocheted ones. I'm going to show you some of the knit ones. So here's another one. And I find, again, the yarn is very, very soft. I love that. Here's another one. And I don't know what it is. I'm not usually a huge orange person, but I love their orange cream and even the burnt orange that they have. Here's one of the orange creams. How cool is that? The orange cream yarn reminds me of sherbet, orange sherbet. I don't even know. It's so neat. Yeah, those colors are so gorgeous. I did find, so both the crochet and knit dishcloths seemed a little big for washing dishes. However, what we're gonna do right now is we're gonna take this one here and we're gonna go test it out. All right, here we are, guys. Can you see the halo on the dishcloth? You can see it all over. It's really nice, very soft. But anyway, we are gonna test it out. It always makes me so nervous when I make a beautiful washcloth and then I get it all wet. But we're gonna go ahead and try it. I have a cup right here that we are going to wash. Go ahead and get our water going. Here we are. Oh, we're getting it wet. Oh my gosh, I feel so bad getting it wet. Okay. Sorry for all the loud water running. Hopefully that's not too loud. Put a little bit of dish soap on there. Put a little bit more. Maybe that's too much for one cup. All right. We are going to go ahead and wash our cup. Yeah, it feels pretty big for washing. There's just a lot of bulk all over. But other than that, it feels kind of nice washing dishes with it. It's not so bad. All right, we'll set that off to the side. We have used our dishcloth. I think I'm going to get some of this soap out of it. Yeah, this is very nice. It definitely feels good. Like, it's just a little too big, but other than that, it feels really good washing the dishes with it. And all these cloths have a lot of great texture going on for getting the dishes clean. So it's wonderful. Or if you're wanting to use it in the shower or bath, that would feel really great on the skin because it's nice and soft, not too rough or anything, and it's got some texture going on. Okay, the next step here, we are going to throw this into the dish, not the dishwasher, the washer. I threw a bunch of towels in here and I am not going to do anything fancy with it. We're just going to put it in here with the towels. And I know the yarn label says that you can wash it, I believe it's, you don't want it any warmer than 104 degrees Fahrenheit or 44 degrees Celsius. And somehow I accidentally already got the washer going crazy. It looks like on the video it really is going crazy, but in real life these lights are steady. It's only this one blinking. But anyhow, so we can go ahead and wash it. So I wouldn't wash it on hot at all. So I am going to go either with cold or warm. I don't need it to be medium, or do I? We do have other towels in there. I think I'm going to leave it on medium. We're just going to leave it on cold. Leave it on a normal wash. And our wash machine is auto sensing. And I'm going to leave one rinse. I'm going to go ahead and start this up. There we are. So I just took this out of the washer and it actually held up very well. And I've laid out a towel. Now it says not to tumble dry, so I take that as it shouldn't be dried at all. And I believe the website had said you should lay flat to dry, so that's why I have a towel out. I am not going to block it again. I'm just going to kind of get the edges straight here the best that I can anyway. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, that's not so bad. Sorry for the moving camera. And then I'm just gonna leave this out to dry overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and I'll give you my final thoughts on everything. All right, it is now the next day, so we're gonna check out this washcloth. Well, seems pretty dry. Let's take out this green dish towel so we can see this a little bit better. Look at that, the stitches still look absolutely great. I am very surprised at how nicely this came out of the washer. So we've washed it and dried it. I know I just showed you this, but let's have another close-up look here. Those stitches still look fabulous. So my final thoughts on KnitPal. I think they are a great company. I love the yarn. I have not tried all their yarn. The only yarn that I've tried so far is the KnitPal Cotton to the Core. I think it is so soft, great to work with. I had no issues other than, you know, a little snagging due to the halo, but only on those smaller stitches, so it wasn't so bad at all. The yarn works up great in projects. I absolutely love these dishcloths. I for sure will be using those. Again, I will have a link in the description if you want to check out their websites. And on these skeins of yarn, they do say 10% off for your friends and family. Use the code KnitPal10. I'll also have that on the screen here for you. Be sure to keep an eye on their website for some future kits, and I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.